All right, it is Mojo in the Morning Show. Mercury's in retrograde. I know this firsthand because I feel like anything that I do is breaking these days, from computer to phone to this control board, although that's pretty much every time. That happens all the time. So last night, we had Jackie over with us. For listeners that don't know, Jackie is like family with Chelsea, Luke, Joey, Jake, and myself. And Jackie is an astrologer. She's very good. Which, by the way, hold on, Jackie's on the phone. So I told Ellen to get her on. Jackie?
Hi.
Where do people follow you on TikTok and Instagram?
Where my at is Lilith in the 10th. Lilith is like the first wife of Adam. Anyway, it's a point in your astrological chart that like you don't really talk about if you don't really know your sun, moon, and your rising. And mine is in the 10th house, which makes me like super seductive and sexy.
Really?
So I thought that would be a nice highlight.
Lilith in the 10th is what they've got to search for.
In the 10th, yeah.
Okay,
with
all right.
Numbers,
All
10th.
All right. You make it very difficult, by the way. But it's worth the search, because if you've never seen Jackie do the astrological readings for the day with her mini microphone, it might be one of the most entertaining things that I've ever watched.
Jackie, you've popped up on my For You page.
It is you are so
It's so
great
good.
with that little mini microphone.
Thank you so
My
much.
favorite thing.
Yeah, I love it. Well, can I tell a story about last night? So Jackie came over for dinner last night, and Chelsea, Jackie, and I were sitting around talking, and Jackie was talking about Mercury in retrograde, and I did not know this. Mercury in retrograde affects your relationships.
Really?
And specifically for Jackie, what has it brought back to you?
Well, I mean, it does this for everybody because Mercury slowing down in its motion. So when any planet is retrograde, whatever that planet represents for Mercury, it's communication and short distance travel and like relationships, because that's how we communicate. It's a really close planet to the Earth. So what happens is people kind of reevaluate things, communications they've had. So what happens for me, literally, it's like the second Mercury slows down a little bit, all these dudes just like come all the way back through, like dudes that I've met in the past, that it brings your exes back.
Really?
Oh,
Because
God,
they're getting a chance to reevaluate their conversations with you and like maybe where they came at you. And it's like clockwork. It's like one of my favorite things because, at this point, the person who's being contacted has like, transcended or moved on from that relationship. Because the person that's usually coming back is the one that like did the rejecting or like did the wasn't interested or couldn't match the other person's energy.
So is this why exes will slide into your DMs or will send you a text message and say, "Hey, what's up?" or stuff like that?
I really messed up. Yep, I really messed up, and I didn't mean to never text you back and leave you unread, but
Wow.
Wow.
Sometimes I let them.
Sometimes you what, Sam?
Sometimes I let them think that there's still a chance. Just because,
Well, that might also be why they keep coming back.
Okay. So here's a question I want to ask. I want to ask because Mercury is in retrograde until June the 3rd. Are there any listeners that have had exes recently, maybe 1, 2, or who knows, 3 or 4, come back and start sending you messages, and you're wondering why that is? Well, it's Mercury in retrograde. Will you call us up and share with us at 844-MOJO Live? It's interesting because I did a little bit of reading because you were talking about this last night, and it talked about how Mercury in retrograde could lead to you wanting to get back with an ex, and you might come to regret it. So you need to be on alert, right? That this is potentially going to happen.
The thing is anything that starts during Mercury retrograde has a lot of because the energy is a little bit diluted than it normally is and it's moving slower. You think that you want that, but after June 3rd, we have a 3-week post shadow, which is you're still kind of in the Mercury retrograde energy. Then the illusions start to dissolve and oh wait, what am I doing with this person? I never really liked them, and they're still in the same what I want to say is 2 swear words, so I won't.
Yeah.
They're still on the same energy they were when they came at you originally, and you just worked them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
cautionary. You don't want to.
So even though it may seem like it's good to do because it felt good at the time to have them come back and flirt a little bit, but once Mercury goes out of retrograde, you're going to realize why they're an ex. Interesting.
And the sparks are just. The sparks are not there anymore. It's like it's nice because a lot of times it's what we wanted to hear from that person.
Yeah.
So you think it's what you want, but then you go through with it, and it turns out they still like to have a sneaky link, or they still have other girls that they're talking to, and it doesn't turn out like you want it to.
My favorite was Jackie talking about a guy that she met. Actually, she was on a trip with Chelsea, and she met and knew him for less than 24 hours. And he got back to Jackie, with Mercury in retrograde. And what did he say about you?
Oh, he said it was the best kiss he's ever had in his whole life, and I don't even remember kissing it.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, be careful. All right, so Mojo in the Morning Show, Mercury in retrograde. The exes are coming back. Emily, is this happening to you?
Yes. Like, I am absolutely floored just listening to this. 2 days ago, my ex-boyfriend from high school, and mind you, I'm 25 now, so I've not seen this man in 6 or 7 years. He added me on Snapchat and has been Snapchatting me constantly over the past 2 days. And I haven't replied once because I'm very confused, but this makes so much sense listening to this.
Yeah. What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
And what's his sign? Do you know what his birthday is?
He's a Cancer.
What do you think, Jackie?
That's a 10 out of 10 match.
Really?
10 out of 10 match.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If he's a cool person, it's water signs. And Scorpios have a hard time connecting with people because they are the eighth. They're ruled by Mars and Pluto, and they have like a lifetime of not literal deaths, but like little ego deaths and transformations. So like as you level up, you really have no patience for people who have not leveled up. So like if that Cancer male, which most Cancer males have issues with expressing their emotions just because society makes it difficult for them. But, a water sign you would be able to connect with because your emotional depth can be met with another water sign.
So
should
should Emily be open-minded to it, or because Mercury's in retrograde, be careful?
Well, the thing is sometimes when you receive those messages, it's something that you want to revisit too, and you just have to be careful. Like, play it by ear, and like, don't like move too quickly because everything is moving slower because the planet is moving slower. So if you want to do it, you can if you feel good about it. It's just you can't let the energy of these planets affect you negatively. You just have to use them to your best advantage, which is to take things slow and really see if they're coming at you correct.
Emily, good luck.
really
Let us know, okay?
Well,